Today we're going to learn about slope-intercept form. The equation is y is equal to mx plus b. In the previous video we learned that m is equal to the slope. And now we have b, which is the y-intercept. And then x is the value that you plug into the equation. You plug in x to get y. So let's see how this works. Write an equation with the slope of 1/2 and y-intercept of 2. Then graph it. So we're going to have y is equal to, the slope is 1/2, so that's the m here. So we're going to have 1/2, then x, plus the y-intercept is 2, so plus 2. So this is going to be our equation. Y is equal to 1/2 x plus 2. Now let's go back to what the y-intercept is. The y-intercept is the value to which x is equal to 0. So let's imagine that we set x to 0. What's going to happen then? Well, x is 0, so 0 times 1/2 here, we know that this is going to cancel out. And so we have y is equal to 2. So when x is 0, then y is going to be equal to whatever value the y-intercept is, or b. So at x is equal to 0, if we graphed it, we have y is 2. So the point's going to be here at x is 0. Now let's see what happens when x is equal to 1. We're going to have 1/2 times 1 plus 2. And that's going to equal 2 and 1/2. So that's another point we can plot. X is equal to 1 and y is equal to 2 and 1/2. So x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 2 and 1/2. So that's going to be here. And let's do one more number. Let's do -1. When x is -1, we have 1/2 times -1 plus 2. And that's going to be equal to 1 and 1/2. So y is going to be equal to 1 and 1/2. So at -1, we have 1 and 1/2, which is here. So you can already see the line being developed here, and it's going to look something like this, and it's going to extend infinitely outwards. The second problem, we have 3x plus 2y is equal to 6. Graph the equation, then state slope and y-intercept. This equation is in standard form, and it's harder to graph it if it's not in the slope-intercept form, like y equals mx plus b. So to transform it into slope-intercept form, all we have to do is isolate the y on one side of the equation. In this case, I'll choose left. So how would we do that? First, let's subtract 3x from both sides of the equation. So if we subtract 3x on both sides, we're going to get 2y is equal to 6 minus 3x. And now we can promptly divide by 2. And we're going to get y is equal to 3 minus 3 over 2x. And you can flip these numbers around, and we're going to finally get y is equal to -3 over 2x plus 3. So we have effectively written it in slope-intercept form. So now that we have our equation in slope-intercept form, let's plug in values of x to find out where the y sits. First off, we can plug in x is equal to 0, to which we know that the y-intercept is 3, right here. That's the value of b. So when x is 0, our y is going to be 3. Let's try x is equal to 2. We have y is equal to -3 over 2 times 2 plus 3. And this is going to be equal to -3 over 2 times 2 is -3. So this is going to be -3 plus 3, which is equal to 0. So at x equals 2, we have a value of y that's 0. So it's going to be here. X equals 2, y equals 0. Now here's a nice little trick that you can use. Well, in a previous video, we discovered that the slope, or m, is equal to rise over run. And so -3 over 2 is effectively your rise over run. M is equal to -3 over 2. Rise being 3 and -2 being run. Because this value is negative, we can essentially assume one of the points on the line is going to be -3 downwards instead of upwards, and 2 to the right. So our point should be here. And that's true, that's actually the case. And if we go another 3 down and 2 to the right, we'd have another point here. And we can create a graph off of these points here. If it were positive 3 over 2 instead, we'd go up 3 and 2 to the right.